So today we're gonna make a little bit of seminar on two things. So we are starting with the right to repair, the European directive that now it's in place because we explained one of the first time that we met that the starter movement has pushed towards like the right to repair into the industrial production. So to foster the possibility to open the object, to have the warranty that is still living even though you are trying to repair an object and so on. All these elements that we will also see together today are inside the claim of the so-called right to repair. If if I buy an object, I have to be like free. I have to have the right to try to repair even myself, without producing waste. Okay, I need to have the chance to do not, we can say, buy another one rather than take the old one with the possibility of save the functionalities and so on. So, okay, so basically this concept that was a campaign, was an idea of the Restarter movement, thanks to the lobbying, thanks to the activity also of civil society and public consensus that has been raised with the petitions, with the, you can say, signature collection and so on and so forth, has become then a proposal of law at the European Parliament and finally a law at the European Parliament. So nowadays, since very few time, because basically the approval of the law was from the 2024, there is the European Repair Directive. So a directive that is telling to all the member states to foster into their regulation for industrial production some rules. Okay, I will make a little bit of, they say, synthesis on how is working a European directive. I don't know if you ever seen or you ever heard about European directive. What is, in your opinion, a European directive? I think that somewhere in the news and so on and so forth, you encounter this term, no? What is, in your opinion, a European directive?
It's like no, like a conjunct of rules. I don't know how to say it. Like I forgot.
Other opinion? Okay, I will help on that. Basically, you have to imagine that we are in Europe and we have common rules, no? For example, if you want to travel now from Portugal to Italy, from Italy to Spain, and so on and so forth, you can go, for example, without passport, okay? Because there has been some rules in the past that regulates that the movement of European citizens can stand also without passport. So you have to imagine that each state has its proper, or you can say, regulation, its proper laws, okay, as a national laws, but as well as the European members, the European member states are staying in Europe, they have to follow also laws that are at the European level, that are the same for all the countries that belong to the European Union. But how does the European Union, we can say, unify all the different regulation, no? You have to think that the European Union was born, first of all, as a commercial partnership, okay? So many of the regulation, many of the norms are very regarding the trading, but also the industrial system, no? That's how the current, I mean, that's how after the Second World War, Europe has gathered together and create a common market, okay? So you have to imagine that the first common rules were regarding trade, regarding industrial system, and so on and so forth. Nowadays, it's not just about that. We have also different other, you can say, areas that are common in the European countries. Movement of people, for example, travels, and so on and so forth, as well Erasmus. No, Erasmus is part of a European program that come from some laws that defines that the countries in Europe can communicate, can collaborate in order to create programs of exchange. Okay, so just to tell you that when we are talking about European Union, we have the laws of the member states, but also the laws at the European level. But how European, we can say, Commission and European Parliament are telling to the member state, look, there is a new law, for example, the one of repair, and everybody need to, we can say, stand to the same law if they want to stay in Europe, of course. They like make this directive. The directive is not still, we can say, a complete law, okay? Because the directive is a complete law when the member state is taking this directive and is making a national law. But the European directive is a kind of the European Parliament that is saying to the member state, look, we have this new innovation into, for example, regulation of repairing system and so on and so forth. This regulation needs to be in place in 20 years in every country state. So country state, you have the mandate, you have the directive, okay, to change. Sorry, 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 one second. Okay, sorry. I was saying to change their national laws in order to, we can say, adopt the directive standing the new law. Okay, and so this is the directive. Okay, clear? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So the European directive on the start started like this. Basically, they launched this message to every member state to say you have to, we can say, adopt your regulation, your national regulation, in order to stand to this new, we can say, criteria for production, the production of the object. The European directive on repair is properly affecting the production of the object. Okay, so does mean that is affecting the industrial system, no, and the industries that are producing, for example, the device. So here some number on, we can say, the amount of waste that is produced for like when we are not repairing the object, the amount of emission that we can say are taken from the production of this object, and here the amount of tons of resources that are needed, for example, for new object every year. So it's important to understand that repairing is not just to make something for, we can say, for the sake of the society, of the environment, and so on, but is saving a lot of money and a lot of resources. And here we are with the European directive that was, we can say, decided and become operative on July 30, 2024. When the Council has decided basically to promote the repairing of goods, amending another regulation that was regarding properly the production of the system. So the directive was amend the regulation of the 2017 and 2019, always on common criteria, for example, on production. As I say, European Union is very strong in defining common rules, for example, for the production. For example, all the environmental criteria that the industry need to follow to like produce the goods in Europe are properly done to we can say unify all the production system, no? As I say, the European Union started as a trade union, no? As a common market with common rules for production and consumption. So here, as I said, in this graph, you can see in every country of Europe the amount of waste that we are producing that are coming from, for example, the electronic device. Okay, so the so-called e-waste. In Italian is RAE. RAE is rifiuti automatici elettronici and so on. So basically, is like the type of waste that is coming from electronics, so the one that we are repairing and so on. There are, I mean, the countries that, of course, have more development, for example, have more like third sector activities, offices, and so on. They are producing more electronic waste. Okay. As you can see, Sweden, Ireland, and so on and so forth. As more like the system is towards like offices, activities, and so on and so forth. As more, you can imagine the electronic device is taking inside the percentage of the laptops, of the computers, desktop, and so on. We have seen, no? Also in our activity that we have a lot of computers that has been abandoned, for example, by activities of offices and so on and so forth. And again, these directives can really save a lot of materials, no? And is going inside another framework of European Union that is the framework of the circular economy. Circular economy, I will not go to, I mean, we see a little bit of the circular economy together, but I will not go too much in deep on that. Just to tell you that basically the circular economy is a model that wants to recirculate all the material that is wasted, but we can take back into the production system in order to create new objects, no? Like the kintsugi logic in practice. So, what does the new legislation provide? Basically, for now, the legislation is affecting properly some more frequent products that are wasted and are, for example, electronic waste, no? So, washing machine, dryers, dishwasher, refrigerator, electronics displays, welding equipment, vacuum cleaner, server, and data storage, okay? For all these goods, the manufacturers are obliged to intervene in not only 1 year later, you know, the normal warranty of the product, if you buy, for example, an Apple, if you buy an iPad and so on and so forth, the warranty is like 1 year or maximum 2 years and so on. But the new directive is pushing to like the producer of the goods to intervene, at least in the European environment, within 10 years from the purchase, okay? And depending, of course, on the type of project. And the manufacturer need also to indicate some reparability requirements, okay? You remember when I told you the idea of modularity, no? So it's important that into the design of the product, we have the easy to disassemble, the easy to spare part, and the information on the repair. So not only how it's working, but also how we can repair. Mobile phone, cordless phone, so on, and tablet, and so on and so forth should be also included into this list, okay? And the reparability need to follow the so-called eco-design principles. We see that together, if you remember. So, as I was saying to you, the repair directive is extending the possibility of guarantee not only we can say to the use but also to the repair. So nowadays, we can say if I open an object to see if it's working or not, the warranty automatically expires. Okay, so I cannot touch, I cannot screw the object if it's not working in order to see if I can repair. this action will lead automatically to the expiry of the warranty. The repair directive is telling no, it's possible to open, it's possible to repair, and guarantee need to stand. Okay, and of course need to be we can say coupled also with the indication of repair. Here, a list of the, we can say, new obligation that the legislation provide. For the product that are technical repair, we need not just to, we can say, foster the production of a high number of products, but also the durability and availability of repair service need to be guaranteed for a certain time. No, imagine I take an old PC and I take for 10 years. And the ninth year, I basically broke, I don't know, the video card. I need to find the video card, even though maybe that model of PC is gone out for production. Okay, and this is important because if I do not find the you can say the part that is damaged and I need to replace, of course I'm obliged to throw away the object. And to avoid this, the productor, the manufacturer need to guarantee indeed the possibility to find the replacing parts even later than the production is ended. Okay. There is also the obligation for the producer to inform consumer about the product that they can repair themselves and the one that they, for example, need a certain assistant. Okay. For example, I have a Mac laptop or a MacBook. If I want to follow the repair directive, I have to say that the repair of the object can stay within, I don't know, the substitution of the hard drive and so on and so forth. And if I need to go further, then I have to refer to the assistance service. Moreover, there is also a sort of, we can say, action on the prices. It's important that, of course, if you see the prices of repairing and you see the price of buy a new object, sometime the choice is always in favor of buy a new object. If I broke, I don't know, my cell phone, and to substitute the screen, I have to pay, I don't know, 100, 120 euros. Of course, it's better that I buy a new one that maybe is cheaper rather than such amount. But the new directive is saying, look, it's not possible to do like this. Is need to be always more convenient to find maybe the object rather than buy a new one, because this is a technique basically that the manufacturer are doing for foster the we say the buy of a new object. As I say, the consumer need to have the right to choose between repair and replacement in case of fault. And the guarantee on the spare parts need to be like you see granted since at least 10 years after the purchase. Okay, so not just 1 year. Why this? Because we have to we can say foster more long-term we can say application of the product. There is also the need of new transparency obligation on the repair cost. So if I want to repair an object, I need to know exactly which are the costs and not to discover the cost on process. No, sometimes you start to replace a part, and then they ask to you to replace another part, and they ask to you to, and so on and so forth. And basically, you are spending, I don't know, 200 euros, 500 euros to repair something that is super tiny. And again, the choice is not, we can say, free. Is of course, if I have to pay such amount, I will buy a new one. Okay. Another innovation that the law provides, that is the introduction of a digital product passport with technical information for repair. So, for example, the product can have a sort of passport that can register the different repair action that object has had, no? For example, is like registering the lifespan of an object. And for example, if I want to buy it in a second hand, I really know the history of the project. Okay. This is done, of course, for saving the consumer on buy second-hand product that maybe are not good, but also in another way is useful for prolong the lifespan, the lifetime of the object itself. So, which are the main objectives of the directive? To have like an easy access to repair for consumer independent technician, some obligation for manufacturer to provide spare part and repair manuals, reduce the planned obsolescence. That is a great struggle, no? That basically some industries are planning to have, we can say, a temporarily defined lifetime of the product in order to push you to buy a new one, I don't know, after 1 year. I take a smartphone, there is some component that I can, we can say, basically decide the lifetime of that single little component. And after 1 year, that component is fading. And of course, I'm obliged to buy a new one. This is a
Yeah.
technique, no? I can,
For,
yeah, sorry? Yeah, no, tell me,
for
tell me.
example, the batteries on the cell phones have a limited lifespan. The batteries.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Sometimes sometimes that lifespan is the scientific maximum one, okay? Sometimes maybe if you put like a battery of low quality, you surely know that in 1 year or 1 year and a half, you have to buy at least the new battery, but moreover a new phone, okay? This is called planned obsolescence, and the new directive is basically trying to combat this bad behavior that the producer can have. Of course, it's important not to say what not to do, but also to say what to do. And the directive is also giving incentives to the manufacturers that, for example, are providing warranty policies and financial support. For example, if I am a manufacturer and I say, if you give me back your old phone, I can give you a discount of a new phone. This is, of course, not the repair of the object, but in a way is a way to reduce the waste. That is the main objective. Okay, so why this push towards repair? Basically, because it's a push to avoid the production of new waste. Okay, and if there are the ways on foster recycling, it's okay, no? And I have to we can say promote and price that industries that are doing this way. So, which are the impacts of this law on consumer and business? For consumers, of course, the possibility to repair with low cost, reduction in the need to purchase new product, less e-waste, and greater sustainability. For companies, of course, we need to adapt, but it's a transformation. For example, we have not just to think that this is a break to the production, because sometimes companies are complaining and say, oh my God, now the market is gonna go down, our selling will gonna go down, and so on. But the repair market can be also another market, so there could be new possibilities. Of course, you have to have obligation, but there is the possibility of new business and opportunity into the repair sector. Moreover, the European directive has provided a European online platform for repair. Okay, that is enabling consumers to find the repairers and sellers of refurbished goods. This is a very interesting thing that is not so well known, okay, because sometimes these directives are not so well communicated to European citizens, but is a great thing, this one, because you can go to the platform. You can also, if I am we can say seller or a repairer, I can log in into the platform and register my location, my entity, and the people that needs me can find them can find me on the platform. Okay, as I say to you, this is now a directive. That means that the European Union has sent the message, but member state must adopt, because the directive is no way, so you have to do that. So master states must adopt the law regulation within July 2026. So Italy, Portugal, France, Spain, and so on, now they need to adopt their laws, their regulation to this European directive. That's it on European directive. I was thinking that it was nice that we are working on repair, and also we are into, we can say, a European project to talk about that, because basically is our law. As European citizens, we need to be aware of that. I don't know if there are questions.
No.
Okay, if there are no questions, of course, I will share with you the slide, and I invite you to me. I mean, this was just an hint, what you say, an aperitivo of an happy hour of the law. So go and onto the European Parliament website, check also yourself the different things that and opportunities that the repair law can give. Go also on the portal. Maybe you can find near your house a repair shop, or like a repair center, as we did with Laba Pietro and so on and so forth. And my invitation is be aware as citizens, European citizens, that this directive is in place. So eventually you have also you can and you could ask to your governments to implement, to put that in place. Okay. Uh, so it's not just, can say, for fun, but now it's a law, okay? And it's important to be aware of that. Okay, so if there are no questions, maybe we can reserve the last time for, today we should be at the Parco, at like Lago Mezzetta, where we were one of the first time. I share with you the document in which I put the specification and the information and so on. I will ask you two things. First of all, to Tomasz, if Tomasz, you can render, now I share my screen and will explain better, but if you can render on Canva the block scheme that we did, okay, in order to let it work for like in an interactive way. So here I put the basic scheme that we come out, okay, with the idea of a central unit, the solar panel that is connected to the central unit. We have the HDD to store the data. We have here the cloud that is sending the image, and so on and so forth. Maybe, Tomasz, if you can render this do you think that you can render this into Canva? Question. Hello?
It's gonna take a while, but 5 minutes you can do it.
I was
Yeah. Muted. No, but even not exactly now. Maybe in the next days, I'm asking to you that you are expert on Canva to render these into, we can say, more interactive ways, in order that then we can move and work out on the we could say position of the element more easily, because like this, of course, we need to make a new draw. And here I put the software specification. So sorry, no, this is an error. So basically, the software need to like receive the stay online only when there is a movement. Online only when the park is closed. It need to be connected to the camera, and we can have monthly windows for shooting and, for example, for storing the data and so on and so forth. Here I put all the ideas that were come out. I take the photo that Igor has made when we were there and so on and so forth. And maybe now that we have also more knowledge about how these systems are working and so on and so forth, we can have a few discussion on how we can implement this, no? Then we, of course, we have to talk and interact with the Giovacchino, with Mercedes, but I think that was nice now that we have more knowledge about this system to brainstorm a bit on how we can proceed. So just to, maybe I will write here. I will share you this document also here. And of course, this want to be just a brainstorming for now. Can you see the link in chat, right? Confirm if you can see that.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Tend to have like this central unit that is controlling basically the exchange of image and so on, and the work of the image recognition was getting into the cloud. I remember that Rodrigo was suggesting some portals where we can make machine learning that are open source. Maybe we can indicate here. Basically, translate our notes into a Google document. So I don't know, Rodrigo, if you remember the link or this website that you was mentioning.
Yeah, he's on the bathroom right now.
Okay. I will ask later. So, for example, for the central unit, what we can say, we can say components. For the central unit here, we can use, for example, Raspberry Pi, we say, no? Or Arduino. What do you think, Igor?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think both can work, right?
Yeah, there is a little bit difference. Basically, Arduino can interface better with sensors.
Okay.
Raspberry Pi can interface better with the rest of the world, basically with the internet and for IP connection. And yes, in reality, we can also use boot in case. I mean, there are ways to combine the two platforms and to receive the signal. I mean, to overlap the two platforms together. but let's put them as our option also for Gioacchino. Then we have to select the storage. Okay, storage. We say that we can use an HDD to store like the big amount, but we can use an SSD to store the 1 month window, if I remember well.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay. Then we need a camera. Okay, but the camera, if you remember Gioacchino, need to be compliant with, to be, you can say, hacked. Okay, on this, maybe we can make some research about that. AI engine, I'm waiting Rodrigo. I don't know if Rodrigo is back.
Yeah, I'm back, Dominic. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
in the bathroom.
No worries, no worries. Just asking to you if you suggested some platform for image processing remotely that we can use for communicate with the.
Yes.
Do you remember the name? I will just put on the document.
No, I don't remember the name.
Okay, maybe
It wasn't on the paper.
Okay, I have the paper also, so I will
Oh, okay.
check on the paper. Okay, okay, I will screw on the paper. So then what we need? How many cameras do you need? We need. I don't know if you remember the setting there. There was like 2 points where they want to put the camera.
Yeah, in the entrance, and the other one, I don't remember well.
Okay.
No, there is more than two because it's on one side, on the other side is the tools, and on the main check you can change check, but I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
So, so how many in total, and maybe we can define different type of camera. Maybe you can write down, Igor, 1 second. Just 1 second. So you were saying, Igor, not just two, but one in the entrance and also.
I think they want one like near the canoeing or the like the like near the garden. No, but I don't know if that's the same like one because it's on the same side. I don't know if he wants one for each
I mean,
place.
we can propose a solution, but just to tell you that canoeing and garden, they have a big tree in the middle, so maybe two can be
Okay,
okay.
okay. Entrance and one for the um, place, like that on the other side, basically,
Yeah.
of the park. I think that was it. Or if the entrance doesn't cover the main building, like where we stayed, I think he wants one inside too.
Okay, okay. Then what else? Rockchip, yeah. Rockchip was also the other platform that was. So for now, as I said, I just want to take back this project with you to brainstorm a little bit. Of course, we need also to go into the lake, not today, but another day. Maybe what I will ask to you, I share with you the file. If Rodrigo, we can check together. I mean, we can make three things. One thing for Thomas, if Thomas, you can help us to put this into a Canva. So I will assign to Thomas. Okay. Then we need to find some models of camera, some proposal of models for camera. So maybe Igor. Spinardi. Lady and Rui. Okay. And Rodrigo, together, me and you, we can check on the AI engine, okay? So at least we can propose an integrated solution for that. Of course, we can develop together with Joaquino, but I mean, it's just a start. Okay.
Okay.
Of course, any other idea that eventually come out to your mind in these days, as I say, this today was to reprise back a little bit the project, also with a little bit more knowledge of the things and so on. Any idea that you can put on the as a suggestion here and will be okay. Okay. Great. So I think that we can close for today. I said it was very very brief, and so for tomorrow, just few indication. So the restart I saw officially started at 6. If you want, we can meet a little bit early, like 5:30 and so on and so forth. Or even 5 if you want to eventually stay there and take a little bit confidence with the environment and so on and so forth. And then, of course, I think that the start would go till 9 and something like that. At a certain point, we can go. So we can stay the first hours and so on and so forth. Maybe when it's 8, when it's 8:30, we can move and we can go. If you want to stay, of course, you are free to stay because there is also, I think, some music into the theater later. So will be a concert or something like that. And of course, if you want to enjoy the situation and so on and so forth, I mean, you are very free to do that. Okay, so let's meet tomorrow at 5:30 at the place Nama. Okay, do you remember? No, it's not so far from you. You can even go by walk there. And see you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, Domenico, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Have
See
a
you
nice
tomorrow.
day. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Arrivederci, ciao.
Goodbye.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.